Board here, this is the Toyota onboard Shelton Creed.
There we go.
And we have our first caution of the night. It's going to be Sam Mayer in the one.
Well, there's another car involved.
That is not good.
Kyle Weatherman, the 91.
Trying to figure out how those other two cars got caught up in that.
Yeah.
Looked like a big stack up, really.
Yeah, and Daniel got out of the gas, and whoever was right behind Daniel didn't see the stack up or didn't get the word. And there's Haley running into the back of the Wendy's car.
I think about Sam Mayer, and I rewinded this race a year ago, and he was in the hunt, had a chance to win it on the final lap, and if you remember, coming off turn 2, got upside down. Scary crash for him, and tonight eliminated
that was a pretty hard
early.
hit right there.
Boy, that was a hard hit.
Blaney went to move up, make a pass. Byron blocked him. Got him really.
Oh, Byron Blaney
turned
into the wall.
Kyle Busch.
And just like last year, Blaney gets caught up in the big one.
Kind of a late block. Got him stacked up. Went back to the bottom. Side draft and then just stacked him up behind him.
Kyle Busch got into the back of the 24 and turned him sideways.
And did Brad Keselowski get into the back of Kyle Busch?
Now Logano the outside. They can't get around.
Oh, Keselowski gets turned by William Byron. Blaney gets caught up. Gilliland, Truex, Hamlin, and more.
All those Fords were struggling to get around Chastain. Who could get around and get that clean air track position first? That's what happened. And unfortunately, those guys behind him.
This gives you a much better view right there. You see the 24 car just being pushed, and sometimes you're not aligned, and you know you're not lifting, and that car gets to moving around, and you hope it works out, and it just didn't work out right here.
We saw this same scenario playing out at the duels the other night when Blaney got in a wreck. You really can't pin it on anybody. It's hard racing, everybody going for it, but when those cars move in front of them, it slows the energy down.
Oh my gosh. If that left rear quarter panel wasn't curved in a little bit, I mean, it went right with the curvature of the left rear quarter panel.
Ross Chastain and Brandon McReynolds did a phenomenal job of keeping those guys behind him. Had he slipped up one time and missed a block, he'd have been right in the middle of that.
Jake's going to have a run. Now it seizes up a little bit. Little side draft on Andres Perez.
It's going to depend on which lane gets the bigger push.
Oh, no.
Jake Finch goes around and dominated this race, wrecking all over the place at the front of the field. That will end this race. Andres Perez, huge hit on top of another car. Gus Dean in the 55 will unofficially be the winner of this race. Let's see what happened here on the final lap.
Just a lot of pushes, and there was a lot of momentum coming back to that third row, and that outside lane started it, and yeah, just a lot of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, I think Andy J was in the back of Jake, and I think Andy J had Lewis in the back of him as well, and they all just
it was almost simultaneous. The inside and the outside got to the second row at the same time and just kind of fishtailed each other into both lanes.
Watch Perez in that 2 car up against the outside wall.
He's actually climbing over another car here. And he stays mounted on top of the
Andy J's car.
Is that Armani Williams?
It is. It is.
The 13. What an impact for Jake Finch. Led 66 laps tonight, only to go straight into the wall on the final lap. Here's another look.
Yeah, Jake's just going down the straightaway, and they start pushing and shoving there, and
should be a good onboard view here from Perez coming up, as he's obviously the car that's
on top of Andy Jankowiak's car.
Can't be iffy in these decisions, Kevin. That spotter says clear up, you better be there.
Oh, crash! 2 cars slam together, and Harrison Burton takes a wild ride through the grass and up into more traffic, gets tagged, turned around, and 5 cars are in it. Ryan Preece.
I think he missed that inside wall. Harrison Burton, big damage on the 21 car.
Now the 42, John Hunter Nemechek on the outside of Burton, the green and white car, and Brad Keselowski and he make contact.
Keselowski got to his rear bumper, just took a little bit of a love tap, turned him sideways, kind of looked to me like he was on the left corner of that bumper, turned him right down into Harrison Burton.
Well, and it's just what we were talking about.
Rajah sideways, hangs onto it.
Sanchez will try to work both. Oh, trouble.
And there's a crash. Caution is out. The race is over. Trucks up in the air. Nick Sanchez leading when the caution flag came out.
I mean, I've never avoided so many wrecks in my life. I can't believe I have a clean truck. But I'm not going to complain about it. It's truck racing. It happens. But super proud of Truck on Garage and Toyota Racing. Got a little bit of work to do for Talladega with the speed of this thing. But I thought the best strategy for me was to lay low and hopefully be there at the end. And we were. And looks like we came up one short.
That is scary looking.
It's just amazing.
But like you said, that's about as soft as you can turn one over.
That's exactly right. And it didn't just keep tumbling either, like we've seen happen so many times. I don't know if Rajah just lost the front end of his number 71 Chevy or what went down there, but he definitely went up the track and made contact. Look at that mess.